Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on our webinar, um, customer employee experience equals customer experience. Great to see so many people joining us. You've obviously got over the Blue Monday, and we're racing away into January now, into the new year. My name is Craig Walden. I'm the marketing director here at Opus. I'm joined today by Andrew and Romka from Cirrus Response, and Julia is also in the background here helping me with the admin. So welcome to the team. I put this slide up in November and was hoping that by now I would be able to change the image, but unfortunately it looks like COVID is very much still with us, and 2021 is going to be another year of challenge and opportunity. Lockdown is continuing, the shift to home working is continuing, and demands on employees are growing as people have to do more and more remotely with less supervision and so on. And analysts, foresters have said that the spirit of overcoming adversity will continue in 2021, and those companies that will succeed will cultivate resiliency, creativity, and a customer obsession and adaptability within their workforce. I think that's very much true. And private equity firm Leone International, in some of their research, said that a third of businesses lack the technical infrastructure to manage long-term remote working, which is something that I hope we can help address today. This is the second of three webinars that we're putting out in this series. The first we did in November, Agility, Security and Compliance. Today is about real-time visibility, actionable insights. And we've got a follow-up webinar about operational efficiency and true omnichannel. For those of you who are not quite so familiar with Opus, we are an end-to-end technology provider. We have three divisions, one that specializes in the telecommunications, unified communications, customer experience, and so on. We've got a technology division which deals with and provides IT services, Microsoft, Cisco, Meraki, and we've got a digital division that provides managed print. We are independent and privately owned. We'll have been operating for 29 years in March. We're an engineering-led organization. We offer a personalized lifetime account management, and whatever the services are that you consume from Opus, there's a single support number for all of those services. We do offer customers a number of promises and guarantee satisfaction, backed by financial penalties and commitment from senior management to get involved in any issues. We even publicly publish an escalation path on our website that goes all the way to the owner of our business, should you at any point not feel you're getting the service you require. We support 1,500 public and private sector customers across the UK and beyond. We partner with a whole bunch of tier one manufacturers and service providers, and we bring all of these services together in a managed service wrap. We partner with Cirrus for contact centers. They are a strategic contact center partner. Their portfolio perfectly complements the other solutions that we sell. They are a specialist in the contact center market. They offer best of breed technology and are agile enough to offer leading edge technology as demands change. They have truly omni-channel in their solution. They have a fantastic record of security and reliability with 100% uptime, and they have a really good focus on customer success, which is demonstrated today by the fact we have Customer Success Manager, Andrew, who's joining us from Cirrus. And at that point, Andrew, I'll hand over to you, good self.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you for the introduction. Good morning, everybody. I've turned my cam on, so please don't be distracted by my salmon pink shirt and my maps in the background. We're here to talk about employee experience and customer experience, how your contact center managers and your troops on the ground, people who are at the coalface of delivering the customer experience, can help really drive the customer experience to a better and higher place. And it's that key point that we're going to be stressing here today, how it's your internal processes and the mechanics of how you deliver customer experience, which is absolutely key to making sure that you deliver critical services out to the market in a reliable and satisfying way. My name is Andrew Tucker. I work for Cirrus Response as a customer success manager. I'm here to help drive success through existing clients' take-up of our products, making sure that they can really leverage what they've taken through Opus and Cirrus to drive satisfaction in through their business. So without further ado, we're just going to move on to the agenda. So please, everybody, take a step back, take a slug of coffee, pull up your socks, and here we go. Next slide, please, Craig. So what we're going to do on this presentation is run through state of play, what we know in the market and what we know of contact centers and businesses as a whole as we move into 2021. We're going to very quickly review what makes effective home working work, because there are some crucial meta themes that need to be addressed in order to be able to deliver a proper remote, nimble, agile, operational, effective home working solution. We're then going to look at current states of play within the consumer marketplace and how employee behavior affects delivering customer experience. We're then going to turn our lens very carefully onto people who work in contact centers. We're going to meet Meta and we're going to meet Janice, two absolutely crucial people within the contact center environment who are key to delivering success and a solid experience back out for your business. We're then going to look at the tools available to both Meta and Janice to see how we can help enable a better customer experience. We're then going to look at some real life testimonials from clients that we've supported on a digital journey and a customer experience journey, so we can see what numbers and stats actually speak to the success of delivering a Cirrus solution through Opus. And then we'll move over to a live Q&A session and how to contact us. So that's a potted summary of the format for today. And so without further ado, next slide, please, Craig. So what do we know in 2021? Lockdown 2.0, lockdown 3.0, I'm failing to remember right now. But there are some key themes that are being fed back to us from partners and from clients who are onboarding with us, who are asking for our help. One is that businesses are under enormous amounts of pressure, either trying to deliver out critical services or trying to maintain a handle on operational efficiency and cost. We do know that remote working in its truest sense, a completely geographic agnostic home working solution, is actually beyond most remote working's, most legacy infrastructure and architectural systems, your big on-prem bits of kit that sit in cupboards and are maintained by IT squads. We know that they don't really provide the true flexibility that businesses are demanding. You go from lockdown to a hybrid solution where you're socially distanced in the office and then back again. It's that fluidity and that flexibility that a lot of legacy systems are really struggling to support. We do know that customers, citizens, and tenants want reassurance and answers. What on earth is going on? There is a tremendous amount of stress, whether that's through job security, whether that's through uncertainty of process, and what's happening out there in the real world is really starting to put pressure on people, and reassurance and answers are still wanted. We do know, and this is absolutely key, that your agents, your advisors, the people who are answering the phone, the people who are responding to customers, to citizens, and to tenants are increasingly under more stress, they're under more pressure, and to use contact center words, their utilization rate is high. And in many cases, it is unsustainably high. And there's a real point that I'm going to stress here. Those are internal challenges for businesses to address within their contact center. And short-term spikes in contact center utilization can be forecasted, can be planned, and in many cases can be expected. Long-term overutilization, which is what many businesses are experiencing at the moment and is ongoing, turns an internal challenge into an amplified external issue. So the issues that many businesses are facing that we are currently talking to is that their staff are starting to face critical burnout, which means service levels are dropping. Those problems are then becoming amplified into the public domain, whether or not it's dropping critical services and then seeing complaints raised, not only on social media, but being picked up by the press. Businesses are facing critical situations where you can't sustain the pressure with their current legacy infrastructure. I'm painting a pretty grim picture, and I'm sorry if on Thursday morning at 12 minutes past 10, you have this guy in a salmon shirt saying things are pretty bad, but this is what we're hearing. And this is what we're trying to discuss, ways of managing this and helping alleviate the problem that is very real within contact centers. Next slide, please, Craig. So customers back at the beginning of lockdown were actually quite tolerant. Yes, okay, we understand the landscape's changing. We understand that moving to remote home working is actually a challenge for many businesses, and it was. But we're almost a year into this now, and customers don't really care. Citizens are getting fed up with hearing that we're incredibly busy and we can't support all of the incoming contacts that we're being asked to deal with. There is a level of patience that is running out. I've experienced it as a consumer. I'm saying, I really don't care that you can't answer my call. You've had enough time to be able to deal with this situation. Can you please do something about it? And people are actually reacting, whether or not it's going onto the social media or putting out articles in the press and complaining, saying this isn't working for me, and their feet are walking. So in the private sales-driven sector, we're seeing that up to 60% of people are actually switching to a different service. And once they've switched to a different service, because they're getting a better service, they're staying with a different service. So loyalty isn't where it was. Now, let's turn the focus internally. We know as a contact center support service, because that's all we do at Cirrus, is help contact centers and provide solutions for contact centers. We don't know any other thing. We know that across industries, whether that's public sector, private sector, whether that's housing, whether that's councils, whether that's insurance or banking, as examples, we know that 80% of demand into a contact center is made up of the same top 20 questions. There is a reassuring predictability about demand that you can address. We also know that legacy systems, siloed systems, and siloed infrastructure does not promote efficiency. And 75% of a standard customer experience call is actually spent looking for the answer to provide to the customer. So if you think, if I'm on call to you, if I'm trying to get a question answered, 75% of that call time is spent with my advisor or agent looking for an answer or a solution, putting them on hold, going away and trying to find things out. I'm only spending a quarter of my time engaging with the customer, empathizing with the customer, and actually dealing with the issue or the situation. Now, that is reality. This isn't a criticism, but it is reality of what's happening. And in a pre-COVID world, when we had large-scale contact centers with lots of people working in a room that could be supported real time, those efficiencies could almost be washed over because you can get by boot and braces approach. In a true remote world, that doesn't apply anymore. And so this fluidity and this flexibility of being able to offer out proper integrated platforms and systems is becoming more apparent. Craig, next slide, if you don't mind, please. So Working, as we do at Cirrus, with contact centers, yes, we deal with procurement managers. Yes, we are conversed in having conversations with ITC and compliance officers. Yes, we can help with the CFO, but quite frankly, the key people within a contact center, your employees, the boots on the ground, the people who are going to make the absolute difference in BAU to delivering customer experience reside in your contact center and are often called Meta. Meet Meta. Meta is a customer service supervisor. She's been working within a business in the contact center for approximately 4 years now. Now, Meta started off on the phone. She was an advisor, she was an agent, and she learned her trade talking to clients and building up the confidence and the assurity of knowing that she was capable of delivering a good customer experience. And she is a passionate advocate of your business. She wants that business to succeed. She's worked her way up to a supervisory level, and she is absolutely key and crucial. She is a linchpin to making sure that customer experience is delivered to a business, both inwardly and outwardly, because she feeds up the management chain to the senior leadership team, and she supports her agents who work in teams underneath her. Meta's success depends on several things. She is passionate about making sure that service is delivered. And right now, if we go to the next slide, this is Meta's view. Meta, whether she's working from home or if she's in the office working within a socially distanced contact center, these are the tools available for Meta on her screen, not only to manage channels, to manage workflow, work allocation, and then crucially here, harvest data and information to be able to collate into meaningful management information and reporting to feed back up to the senior leadership team who are demanding intel because they want to know why service levels are not where they should be, and crucially helping performance manage and support her team. So Meta will have, depending on the setup within her contact center, at her disposal, some form of wallboard to manage voice. She'll have a shared inbox view, either on Gmail or Outlook or whatever Microsoft tool or Google tool you use to manage your email. She'll have a shared inbox view. She'll have something like Hootsuite to manage customer interactions on her social media channels. And then she'll have some form of live agent dashboard to manage the web chat. 4 distinct, disparate, separate systems dominating her screen, 4 disparate, separate systems from which she needs to pull data to collate reports to feed back up to the business. Now, and I'm sorry if I'm preaching, but I am passionate about this. When we talk to businesses who approach Opus in our consultative fashion to be able to say we can help and these are the things that we find, oftentimes we are told that supervisors are spending minimum 1 hour per day, 1 hour per day per supervisor to collate basic management information to be able to feed that back up the chain. That's 1 hour per day. That's 5 hours per week. That's half a day a week just pulling data for reports. That's a significant burden on Meta, who is key and crucial to delivering customer experience. That is time that Meta is unable to spend helping support her agents through difficult times. So let's look, next slide please, at the people actually supporting your tenants, your citizens and your clients. Let's meet Janice. Janice works on the phones and she also answers web chats, and of course she does some admin work and some emails on the side as well. Now, Janice happily works a standard shift, 8 hours a day, 45 hours a week, answering calls and then being monitored and supported in doing so. But Janice misses the interaction she gets and the support she gets from working within a contact center. Janice is working from home. So right there and then, Janice is not receiving the direct on-floor support that she needs to be able to help her with morale and help her with her emotional needs, because she's delivering critical services and she is on her own. And think about it. put yourself in Janice's shoes. If that business is under increasing demand, call rates are particularly high, customers are getting particularly frustrated because they do, the first thing they're going to do when they get the phone answered is have a go at Janice, rightly or wrongly. So when Janice gets up in the morning, fresh and ready for her shift, after 2 to 3 hours of being vented and dealing with customers' frustrations, by lunchtime, she's feeling drained and she's feeling worn out. And this narrative we hear time and time again. Janice is getting frustrated and Janice doesn't feel as though she's getting the support that she needs to deliver the services because effectively she's being overworked. I'm asking Craig for the next slide because this is predictable. Please, ladies and gentlemen, look at the customer experience equation. Now, I have run contact centers, and this equation, this cause and effect and outcome equation, is familiar to me. Businesses can often plan for unpredictable spikes. It sounds like a bit of a dichotomy, right? It is unpredictable. How can you plan? Black Friday, mass maintenance schedules as examples. Your business knows that there are certain intense periods of work that come into the business that you can plan for, and you can expect and you can accept these spikes in utilization. You can expect and accept increased wait times. You can plan for it. In the short term, not in the long term. And this is what we're experiencing at the moment. Queue times are increasing because you're not able to answer the calls. Your abandon rates are increasing, which then leads to an increased number of callbacks. Customers are getting frustrated, citizens are getting frustrated, tenants are getting frustrated, which then leads to longer call times, and around it goes. So that's actually what's happening. Short term, you can cope with it. You can cope with this pressure short term, but long term, this pressure becomes unsustainable. What then happens internally is employee sickness starts to increase. And we are being approached by businesses who are in this equation and in this curve at the moment. And it's heartbreaking, ladies and gentlemen, because I've lived through this. Employee sickness increases, which then also leads to a degradation in the quality of your calls. So if we focus on how to deliver a good customer experience, you need to make sure you're equipping your troops, the people within the contact center, the tools that they need to be able to deliver a good customer experience. Because explanations don't excuse and excuses don't explain. Next slide, please. So, talking with Meta, because we have conversations internally here at Cirrus, because we're made up of contact center operatives, and also we talk to businesses forensically to make sure that we are delivering solutions that work. What does Meta need in her daily job to be able to deliver the support to Janice and also the support up the chain to the senior leaders? Well, Meta actually wants real-time omni-channel dashboards. She wants a simple view. She doesn't want all the clutter. She doesn't want 4 systems that she has to look at to feed the information. She just wants it at a glance. She wants collaboration tools. She wants to be able to and needs to be able to check in with Janice quickly, and crucially, she needs to be able to talk to and connect to other departments within your business who are key and crucial to helping support and deliver first call resolution. It's not just the first customer contact that needs to be supported, it's the back-end process. The rest of the business needs to be plugged in so that they can support your contact center. She needs and wants workload management capability. So she's able to see Janice's workload and say, I can see you're stressed. I need to take some of this off you right now and allocate it to somebody else. And I can bet you on this call, we have people who have heard that supervisors are jumping on the phones and they're taking the calls to relieve pressure from their agents because they feel duty bound to take that pressure off. because that pressure is unsustainable. She needs the ability to be able to take work and allocate it somewhere else and have that footprint. She needs outcome tagging and actionable data. The amount of times we've been approached by contact centers who don't know why their customers are calling, they know anecdotally what's happening. But how do you take actionable insight if you don't know the trends? So call outcomes, call tagging, digital tagging, email tagging, understanding the reasons for calls so you can feed actionable data and management information back up the chain so you can take tactical decisions with absolute certainty you know what people are talking about. She needs flexible reporting, and crucially here, she needs to stop spending so much time collating data and feeding it back. Give stakeholders access to the reports that they want to see rather than putting the increasing pressure on Meta to do it. I'm sorry, I am preachy because I see it and it really drives home the hard work that the people running a contact center are going through and the demands that are being put on them within a business. I don't believe it's sustainable, ladies and gentlemen. And crucially here, if we take all of these elements, what it will do is it will allow Meta to spend more time with her agents, the thing that she feels she has to do, and that's where she can have the biggest impact. Free up Meta's time so she can support Janice. Rather than her spending an hour a day on reports, what would she do if she had that extra hour to help coach and support? And we do this when we engage with new clients, supporting with Opus, and Opus introduce us into contact centers. One of the questions we ask is, what would you do with the time that you're going to save on not having produced reports? The first thing out of their mind is more coaching, more support. Give her the tools. Next slide, please. What does Janice need? So we know that Janice is feeling isolated. Occasionally, she'll move back into the socially distanced contact center and have a little bit of interaction. But Janice is dealing with customers. She needs a single view of the customer. She wants to see all of the interactional history so she can say, yes, I can see you've been contacting us. I can see that you've been contacting us on social media. I can see that you are unhappy. Let me support and help you, rather than having to scrap around at different systems and try and piece things together. So that's one piece that she's asking for. She wants collaboration tools so she can reach out to Meta quickly, that she needs support. She also needs to be able to reach out to other departments within a business who can help facilitate getting responses so her first contact resolution can then increase. She wants a knowledge base. Having multiple different systems requires intimate knowledge of how these work, and then multiple different departments and multiple different policies requires an extensive database, knowledge base. Give her an interconnected knowledge base which underpins the work that she needs to do. She wants access to conversational history. So if you do call through, she can see at a glance the things that you've been talking about with the outcomes and the taggings. So it empowers her to actually give context to her conversation. She wants a single pane of glass, so everything's on one screen. It's not too much to ask. And then ultimately, that's going to allow her to deliver an experience rather than an excuse. These may sound like sound bites, but I have worked with countless Janices over the years, and they are passionate about delivering a customer experience. They don't want to be technical, operational, skilled people. They want to talk to clients. They want to talk to tenants. They want to talk to citizens, because that's where they get their job satisfaction from. Next slide, please. So, Cirrus, we design systems for contact centers. The people within Cirrus, such as myself, have lived and breathed contact centers for years. Cirrus is designed for the people who use it. Yes, your occasional user, your admin user. Okay, give them a bit of training so they can understand the complexities behind it. But we don't invest hugely in making the occasional user happy. Our interfaces, our systems, and our tools are designed to make sure that your agents and your supervisors are equipped with a good, intelligent UI, which is easy to use and, dare I say, attractive. You might not think it's important, but if you're putting 8 hours a day in front of a screen, you want to make sure that it's easy and it's nice to look at. I've worked with some systems in the past which have been pretty grim, and you deal with it a little bit, yes, but this is 2021. Make sure the interface is easy, it's nice, and it's a good place to be. Next slide, please. Your supervisor view. Meta going from 4 screens to a single dashboard with SLAs, totally customizable. What are my SLAs on my channel? What are my channels doing? What does my support team need? Who's doing what? Who's reaching out for help? Give her everything that she needs in a single customizable view so she doesn't have to go scrapping around small things in isolation that won't make a big change. But if you put them all together, you're gaining significant time. Next slide, please. Reporting, operational insight. Let the SLT have access to the real-time reporting suites that's available through a fully integrated CCAS system so they can dip in and find the information for themselves. Save the big data collation for an export into Power BI, for example, freeing up Meta's time. Don't drown her out with report requests. Go in and log in and have a look yourself, for example. It might be a bit controversial, but it's a single login, a single click. Doesn't take long to pick it up. There you have it. It's all there right for you. You want to know more, drill into it. You want to know more, export it, Power BI it, as an example. Next slide, please. Give Janice a single coordinated view. Simple left-right flow, organizational and functional tools on the left, an inbox, center left, conversation in the middle, conversational history, preferences, and mini CRM view on the right. It flows and it's easy. It's channel agnostic because we're focusing on the conversation rather than the channel. We're not obsessing over the technical bits. We've already done that. Put a good view in front of her, which is easy to use with intuitive tools, and then reap the rewards. Deliver an experience, not an excuse. Next slide, please. Then the collaboration tools, a little bit of all the rage at the moment, and there are some hot topics out there. Collaborate, collaborate. Contact centers have been dealing with digital interactions and the ability to master complex customer inquiries since inception. Other parts of the business may be a little bit slow in getting on board with the idea of how to collaborate. But one of the themes that is coming true through a lot of research at the moment, and you saw the research that Craig put up there with Forrester, creativity, collaboration, flexibility. There are other parts of the business, and I can assure you, people on this call can identify and already think, hang on a minute, I know I've got a blocker over there on another part of the business that isn't directly connected to the contact center that is slowing us operationally down. Collaboration. Bring other parts of the business with the appropriate tools to allow your contact center to interact quickly and efficiently. Forget the silo. The experience depends on your employees delivering a seamless, integrated response and solution collaboration. We've been banging on about this in contact centers for years. It's almost a wake-up call for other parts of the business. And about time too, I might say, without being preachy. I've said that 3 times and I'm sorry. I get passionate about this stuff, I really do. And if we could finally have the next slide, please, Craig. Right, so we can talk about it all we like, but do we have real life examples of what benefits we can deliver and our systems and solutions have delivered? Yes, we do. We have a cracking example from retail. 81% CSAT rating compared to 60% industry average. We worked on a journey delivering a digital enhancement, giving Cirrus products to a business, and their customer satisfaction scores jumped. Happier customers, because we're able to deliver a more integrated, better experience fueled by happier staff. So their Trustpilot rating jumped from very good to, from very poor to great. Key to the business, they had a 70% improvement in staff attrition rate. You put something good in front of staff members, they're more likely to stay with you because they enjoy the environment which you're providing. Happy staff, stay longer. There was a 60% reduction in interaction times because they're not scrapping around on multiple different systems looking for answers. It's all there, right there. It's easy to use. And then their social media response times dropped from 41 hours, which is actually pretty high, to 15 minutes. Definite benefit. Next example is some work we've done within the charity sector. we were able, again, through efficiencies, small gains in efficiencies, by putting in a coordinated, joined up, structured, integrated system, allowing them to access information and provide a better service, a 33% increase in actual contacts responded to. 33% increase in calls answered. We put in artificial intelligence to help with some of the grunt work and the routine questions that came through on their website, which would have taken manual typing and manual attention, allowing them to answer 46% more customers automatically by introducing some basic elements of robotic process automation. Small, simple steps that have dramatic effects. And then crucially for the charity, because they were about donations, we were able to reduce the number of lost contacts by 56%. And that directly impacted on their balance sheet and their bottom line. Next slide, please. Now, does anybody have any questions? I'm sorry if I'm ranting. I get passionate about this because I can see what's happening out in the real world by talking to contact centers. So over to you guys. Any questions? More than happily answer them.
I should have said this at the beginning, guys, but you are welcome to put questions into the chat field on the side of the webinar. I see a couple of you have already done that. Andrew, I've got a couple of questions that have come in. Do you work with third-party business intelligence systems?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. So one of the key points about Cirrus when we are deploying is that we don't deploy as a standalone system. No, we do need to integrate and we need to be able to export. Because we work in Crown Commercial Services standards, we have to be open source. And because we're open source, we can export and deliver data that we capture to Power BI systems, Microsoft Power BI, ClickView, et cetera, et cetera. So yes, we'll take the data and feed it into your Power BI so you can do the magic in the background. It's absolutely fine and standard. Now that would be captured at early scoping stage with Opus, just to make sure we've got all of our ducks in a row when we're delivering an integrated solution.
Thank you. The other question is there an option limit on the amount of work that comes in through to an agent?
I know, actually, I like that question. Thank you very much, because this is about delivering a proper employee experience. We very briefly touched on that in one of the slides where Meta had workflow management solutions, not workforce. But yes, you can throttle, by want of a better word, the amount of interactions that come into an agent. So you can set limits, for example, of the number of emails that they can handle at one time concurrently, how many web chats concurrently. And obviously our present status, if you're working digitally, it'll stop calls coming in. But yes, you're able to set limits and then allocate work out. So you can auto allocate, or you can set limits to say you can't have more than this at any one time, just keeping the actual work flow manageable. Those are options available straight out of the box. Again, we would scope this at early stages with Opus to make sure that those requirements are captured as we move through deployment phase. Good question. Thank you, Craig.
Okay. There's another question just coming in. Giving the agents more support and coaching is definitely something we need to do more during home working. However, are the telephony platforms looking at more functionalities to support home working, as live call listening and team leader help whilst on a call is not an option unless we are in the office, which isn't going to happen anytime soon?
Okay, so we have the ability with the Cirrus platform to be able to live listen into calls. Of course you can. I mean, that's standard out of the box feature that we have available. And then the collaboration tools underneath allow you to enter into that two-way dialogue, so that if your agent is struggling, you don't have to distract them from the call. You can do the two-way dialogue piece, for example, with Teams, or you can use the internal chat function that we have available. So listening and monitoring calls, hearing them live, our system, and Opus will actually reinforce this for you. Our system is 100% geographically agnostic. Just because you're not in the office doesn't mean that there should be any less tools. That's horrible grammar. Any degradation in the number of tools available to your supervisors to be able to offer the support. Listening is one, monitoring is one, of course, and then being able to help and support. Now, crucially, you're going to get me started now. Now, crucially, the ability for a supervisor to be able to say that this agent needs help comes inbuilt within our omni-channel dashboard. So they can literally flag, and you can see this is out of SLA. I need to be able to jump in. And hopefully, if you want to know more, we can do a demo on this. The supervisor has the ability at a single click to go into her agent's work environment directly. But none of the coaching, none of the good things that that question raises are in the least bit possible unless you free up your supervisor to be able to do it. And that's the key to delivering that. Whoop, I'm about to fall over, sorry. That's the key to deliver that seamless customer experience. Give them the time back so they can do their jobs. But the tools are available. They really are. They are there.
All right. Hopefully that answers the question. We can follow up afterwards if more details needed there. And there's another one coming. Am I right in saying that you integrate into Teams seamlessly as an overlay approach?
Well, we overlay. This is one of the benefits that we have with Cirrus, and this is one of the things that Opus can discuss with you, the idea of sweating your assets and making sure you don't lose your legacy. We overlay on top of other systems, and yes, Teams, we overlay into Teams so that we actually embed into the store. But again, ask for a demo, ready to show it. Teams, I know, is a bit of a hot topic at the moment, but yes, able to deliver, ready to be able to demonstrate that for you too, so you can see what the experience is like. And that's the joy here. You're getting the collaboration bit right off the bat. Bring the rest of the business in. Thank you very much. It's about time. Thank you.
Thank you, and thanks for the questions. Andrew, I think one of the things that resonated with me from what you're saying is our experience of working with the Institute of Customer Services when we were gaining our service mark accreditation. It was made very clear that customer service isn't just about a department; it's about the whole business, and that integration with back end and the contact center is key to delivering that first time resolution. So yeah, I hear what you're saying there, and understand your passion for that, as it's something we echo here at Opus.
I'm just going to. Oops, sorry. You're going to get me going. It's early in the morning. I've had my oats. I had my coffee. But you are entirely right, Craig. It's taken in isolation. You can't just turn around to the contact center and say you have to deliver the experience. The support, on average, about 30% of first call resolution is dependent on another department in delivering questions and services to the contact center, and it's that crucial key bit there, which is really what we're hoping to address as well. So, good point.
Okay, I can see, Emily, you've replied again. I think we'll catch up with you offline and go into a bit more detail about the Mitel capability there, if that's okay. I'm conscious of time, so I was just going to quickly go on to. Oh, there's another question come in. Let's see if we can just catch that. Sorry, one final question. Are there any forecasting integration tools for agent planning?
Yay! Yeah, WFM. Out of the box, yes. Yes, there are. You have a limited amount of agent forecasting capability natively within the platform, but obviously we are not a workforce management tool. We are a workflow management tool integrating into third-party workforce management systems. Yes, want to know more? Talk to Craig. Absolutely. Okay. Out of the box. Integrate, integrate, integrate.
Thanks for that one, guys. So next steps, we'll send out a copy of the slides. Obviously, you can share with colleagues as necessary, and a link to a recording of the webinar for any of your colleagues that weren't able to make it. We will be asking for feedback on the webinar. We hope these are useful and give you some insights into what is possible, the art of the possible. If there are any other topics you'd like covered, then please let us know. I'm conscious there are quite a number of public sector organisations on the call, so if there's something we can do specifically for that, then we're happy to oblige. Obviously, if you need help now, speak to one of our account managers, and I'll put the contact details up at the end if you just want to make a general inquiry, but we're happy to help more. And book a discovery day with us. We can go through what your current issues are, what your requirements are, and put together some solutions and let you know what's available and what we can do. to help you. Trying to move the slides on. So what to look for from Opus? We have published a solution guide, how to adapt your business communications for 2021 and beyond. You can find that on the news pages of our website. We are putting the third webinar on in March, and the date will be confirmed shortly. That's around operational efficiency and true omnichannel. And there are additional webinars in the pipeline that we're planning at the moment. So watch this space. There will be more. Thank you very much for attending today. If you need to contact us, the numbers are there, and obviously you can contact us via the website. But thanks very much for your time today. Thanks, Andrew, for presenting for us today, and we look forward to catching up with you all very soon. Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.